Right, so here we are back again, and if some of you are observant you might get the gist of what we're trying to do here today, and that is 5 fires, 5 methods in 5 minutes. Whether I can do that or not, I don't know. And one thing it does rely on is the sun, because the number 2 on here is a reflector and refractor with the sun. Unfortunately the sun's gone in, so I'll just explain a bit about what we're doing, and then it'll be a case of waiting for the sun to come out. But most of you will know that a fire starting out in the field is not as easy as you would like it to be. And there's 2 reasons for that. One is possibly lack of practice, and the second is, which we all usually fall foul of, is lack of preparation. So for this experiment I am a little bit short on practice, especially in some of the techniques I'm going to be using, but I have been out and prepared. I've got enough for 5 good, well, more than 5, I've got a big bag full here of tinder material, or bird's nest material even, to get me started, and I've got more grass here. And in this area I'm quite lucky really. I've got a lot of resources, such as in here I've got cattails, and we've also got, if I swing you around just a touch, I've got drying on the fire pit there, I've got pine needles, I've got charcoal from previous fires, and I've got birch bark, and I've got a few more cattails in there. Below that I've got some fairly thick wood, because with the charcoal I don't need small kindling, the charcoal will do that. But onto the 5 methods I intend to use then. And on here, method number 1 is the ferro rod, and the ferro rod will be the one supplied by Mad Dog Survival. I've had no problems with that. In fact, as I wear it down more, it gets better and better. I have got, to aid me in that, I've also got some fat wood. This is fat wood supplied by Mad Dog Survival also, but I've had this fat wood now for a very long time, and the reason you get such a strong smell from it is because it's giving off very volatile oils. So over time those oils evaporate and it doesn't become quite as effective. So we'll see what I use for the ferro rod. I might use some of these or some cattails. Cattails will catch quickly, but they need something to sustain them. So that's the first one. The second one, the reason I can't kick off straight away, is because we need the sun, and that's with a reflector or a refractor plus the sun. Now a reflector is something that just bounces light, reflects it, and I'm just using a torch lens. So if I put my char cloth or Daldinia concentrica fungus, which is something we have a lot of around here, where the bulb would be, then you just operate in this in reverse. So the light hits the reflector and shines to where the bulb would be, and yeah, that should start that ignite that whatever's there. Or you can use your refractor, which is a lens. So I could use either of those and use the sun. And the big benefit about using either of these methods, providing you've got the sun, is nothing wears out. You know, once you've used your lens, you've still got your lens. It doesn't wear out. Right, the next one is exothermic chemical reaction. some chemicals you can mix together and they'll generate heat, and some will generate sufficient heat to cause flame, and you can use that flame. Number 4, we've got flint and steel. Again, this is supplied by Mad Dog Survival with a piece of flint provided by Mad Dog Survival. I've used this piece of flint quite a bit. If it doesn't work well enough, I'll get another piece, and that produces a spark. It's not to be confused with the ferro rod. The ferro rod has lots of metals in it which ignite at a very low temperature but then burn at an extremely high temperature, whereas the flint and steel, you're flaking off pieces of steel with the flint and they're igniting it due to friction and burning in the atmosphere, but the ignition temperature of that is very low, and so you need something which will take a spark, such as your char cloth. So to use a flint and steel, you need to have done your preparation and made your char cloth. And finally, the 5th one is electricity. So we're just going to use a battery. It can be virtually any type of battery as long as it can supply a reasonable amount of current. I've seen it done with a 1.5 volt cell, a single 1.5 volt cell. I've got a 6 volt road lantern battery in there, but I'm going to be trying it with a 9 volt battery. So that'll be the last one, and hopefully we'll do that in 5 minutes. It'll be pushing it, I think, but we'll see. Now, for success, all I need is a flame for 5 seconds in my bird's nest. So if I can get a flame for at least 5 seconds in me bird's nest, toss it in the fire pit, that's that one down. And I may be doing 1 or 2 of them sort of simultaneously, because certainly the chemical reaction one takes a bit of time to get going. So I might set the chemical reaction going and then try and get my flint and steel going straight after, while the chemicals are still simmering away, so to speak. So we'll see. But so that's phase 1, the explanation. Phase 2 is the actual doing of it. But if you swing around to the cloud, as you can see there, we're waiting on weather. Hopefully it will. I mean, I only need some of those bigger clouds, and that might be passing through any time now, and then we can get started. I might actually start off with the reflector or refractor and the sun. So I might start off with number 2 and then go to number 1 if we get a bit of sun. As you can see, I've got a clock there, so you can see me doing it in real time. Once we get started, I'll give you a slightly wider view so you can just see what's going on. You can see I've got the fire pit there, I've got the dog under the table, I've got all my gear on the table, and I've got a few things I didn't mention, like the punk wood. I've got the punk wood that I use in the smoker there, and all the material to make the bird's nests out of. And once I get the first bird's nest alight, I'll probably get the fire pit going, and then I'll just chuck everything else just straight into the fire pit. So we're just waiting on the sun, and then I'll get straight back to you. Right, so here we go, 5 minutes then, real time. I'll wait till the minute hand gets to the top of the hour, and it'll be what, about exactly 3 o'clock. It will be exactly 3 o'clock. Right, go, 3 o'clock. Can we do 5? Now what we're starting with, a piece of, okay. Probably can't see this. Down here, that's another thing I've got to think of, you being able to see it. Right, this is going to smoulder away now. I'm at 30 seconds. 30 seconds, that'll be going. I'll come back to that. Now we'll do the ferro rod. Ferro rod, we'll choose some of this here in a bundle with the ferro rod. Get down. Okay, I'll just get on with the ferro rod in here. So it's ferro rod down in here. Oh heck, the ferro rods are like, get off there, get off there. This one's not like. Yeah, that one's a light. This one's a light. Good job I brought the gloves. I think we're on 2 minutes now. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Right. That's 2 in 2 minutes. Anyway, what's next on the thing? Exothermic reaction. Exothermic reaction, I'm going to do it in here. I'm not going to stint myself on this. Right, we'll leave that to simmer for a bit while we go to flint and steel. Flint and steel. I need another bundle. I've got one here. Flint and steel. Remember, this is Mad Dog Survival's flint and steel marchar cloth. Let's not stint. Let's put that in there. Okay, that's a light. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. We'll come back to this. This might need tickling a little bit. I think the dog's ran off with me spindle for tickling it. I'll use this one. There we go. Doesn't look as though it's going very well. Okay, I think we're running out of time. Okay, that's the exothermic reaction. So what have we got left? Have we just got left electricity? I'm losing count. I think we're a bit over, aren't we? I think it was a bit ambitious, but we'll keep going. We'll keep going. Right. So we want electricity now. Come on, I can't even get the battery out. Right, so I've got a bit of wire wool here. I'll just use this bit here. I might need the gloves on for this actually. This might get out of hand. And once it gets going, I'll put a bit of char cloth in because I don't know what this is going to be like. I'm just touching the wire wool. It's going, look. Get out of there! It's the dog in the pond. Oh, we might have a... This isn't going too well. Big bit of wire wool. Let's not stint ourselves. Might be an old battery. It amazes me that wire wool burns. Totally amazes me. Okay, that's a light, that's a light. So what we went over, I think we went over by about a minute. We went over by just over a minute, I think. But we did it though. We did it. Ferro rod. We used the magnifying glass rather than the refractor. The exothermic reaction, the flint and steel, and at the end there the electricity. So I think we took about 6 minutes, but that was going some. And I had to wait on the sun coming out, and very soon it's going to go back in again. So that was good. That was good. But preparation and knowing your materials, and obviously it's a dry, sunny day. You're not going to go the same in the wet, is it? And that's where in the wet you can get better matches than these. These are the UK military matches. I think you've seen me use these before, but you don't get a very good flame and it doesn't last very long. So again, you still need to practice, otherwise the flame would have gone out before you'd got anything alight. So anyway, that was good fun, just fun, that's all it was, just a good fun experiment. I have been sleeping out with the dog. Jess, come here, come here, come here, come on, come on. Come on, come here. She thinks she's going to get into trouble because she's been stood in the pond. Come here. You're not gonna get into trouble. There you go. You want to say anything? Eh? You want to say anything? Eh? Do you? You want to say anything? Eh? I'll make you the film star yet. I will. I'll make you the film star yet. I will. Free bones for the rest of your life. Go on. Right, that's it then. I might see you tonight. There's a partial lunar eclipse tonight. It's only 65%, 10:30, not too late. So I'm going to stay up, but I haven't got a very good lens for capturing that, and I don't have a connection for my telescope. But it'd be nice if I could just see it anyway.